This week in our collective heads, wanna put an old rumor to bed. Stereotype that you've all heard, how we're all just angry video game nerds. Most of us have actual jobs, kids and families and cats and dogs, yeah. This week in our collective heads, this week in our collective heads.
Hey guys, welcome to This Week in Our Collective Heads. I'm Patrick.
I'm Kevin.
And we're here, as we are every Sunday, live and in person, kind of, on Twitch, later on YouTube and podcasts, wherever you'd like to find us.
Around the world.
Yes. Wherever you prefer media, we'll be there for you.
Right. So this week we're going to kind of introduce a couple of new sections. So first off, we have our topic of the week, and what we want to do with this is we want to introduce it at the top of the show, and then we'll do all the news and stuff, give you a chance to kind of think about your answer, research it if you want, and then at the end of the show we'll have that as kind of our main topic, give us something more to talk about, and then if you throw your answers into the chat, then we can answer them there, talk about whatever you submit.
The chat or Twitter.
Yeah, however you want to send us messages. So this week what I wanted to talk about is something on which we will probably be wildly wrong, because what I want to talk about is how long will Pokemon Go last? And one of the difficulties in answering that question is there's no precedent for this. There's not a mobile game that has taken off with
not like this
wide of a demographic, and like there have been huge, I mean, everybody played Angry Birds, but everybody wasn't playing Angry Birds in groups at the same time.
In groups, in person, meeting significant others.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's
so we kind of want to talk about that. What makes it different? How long that can last? That kind of thing. So that's going to be our topic that they're gonna roll out at the end of the show. But wanted to give you an opportunity to think about that, talk amongst yourselves, and
good stuff. We got some backwards compatible games that came out, and as per usual, if we've not played the game before, then we describe the game to you as we think that it was. Not that it actually is,
right?
But just looking at the title, describing the game as if we made it. So, Half Minute Hero.
Yes, and I get to describe the first one. Half Minute Hero is a sex game.
Obviously.
Right. So you start off as a half-minute hero, and your goal is to get to hour-long hero.
So you level up, and you get different techniques.
Well, no, it's a roguelike.
Okay.
Because every time you reach the end, you have to reset, go back to the beginning, and kind of work on your technique and everything like that. And so that's what Half-Minute Hero is.
Sure, that makes sense. It's actually a pretty cool platformer thingy. Boop, come on.
By Marvelous AQL.
Not platformer, sorry, I mean like slashy thing. This has been on Steam and a handful of other outlets. I don't know if it's something for me. I mean, I like the retro look to it. But it seems like it's one of those things you just kind of say. I don't know if you're. Well, I guess obviously you can flee, but it seems like you basically just set up your attack and then you just go.
Okay.
But
that's actually kind of interesting because this week I think it's on PlayStation and Xbox. I know it's on PlayStation. They're bringing out 10-Second Ninja X, which is a single screen experience where they start and you have 10 seconds to kill all the bad guys.
Okay.
Which I'm thinking about getting because, one, it's on Vita.
Yeah.
And two, that sounds weird and fun.
That does.
But,
that sounds like it'd be good. Another backwards compatible game we got was Tour de France 2009. We don't really have to describe this because it's Tour de France. You're gonna ride a bike.
So Tour de France 2009. Where's that on the actual timeline? How prominently will Lance Armstrong be wincingly portrayed?
So he should be portrayed pretty heavy in there.
Okay.
Because this is pre-steroid.
Pre all that.
Yeah, pre all that. This would have been post removal, but pre scandal.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. There you go.
That's my understanding. We also got Flock.
Yes, and Flock is a game where you start out. It's actually a prequel to Rock Band.
Oh, okay.
And you start out as Flock. and you're just
a budding rock band.
right, a budding
Okay.
rock band.
Okay.
And you win the game when you become flock of seagulls.
Ah.
Yeah.
There you go. I like
Or
it.
if you lose, then you know kind of build your audience or whatever, and then you get cut off by the actual flock of seagulls if the game doesn't think you're doing well enough.
Yeah. I don't know how this game actually is, but I
And
play that.
that's how it is.
I play that. So we also got Pac-Man Museum,
Mhm.
which it's a Pac-Man collection kind of thing.
Oh, okay.
From what I've seen.
I thought you were going to go.
Oh no,
with-
no,
Okay.
no. I was gonna say I didn't. I didn't.
So Pac-Man Museum is a collection of a couple of those. We have Bionic Commando Rearmed 2.
Yeah, which we reviewed on the Games with Gold.
hmm
So
And then Neo Geo Battle Coliseum, which Neo Geo has some amazing arcade
Yes,
games.
they did.
I love.
and I actually found the. Let's see from here. Bob, come on. Yeah. So I got found a little trailer for it because Neo Geo had some great fighters, and you got that's the what's the name of it? The
Is that
Shinobi. Yeah. I mean, you got some great stuff in here. Neo Geo had some. I didn't have a Neo Geo, but when I did play, Neo Geo had a lot of great ports from the arcade. That was one of the best things about it.
Wow, that witch doctor just summoned 2 guards to. Okay.
Yeah, all kinds of zany stuff.
Yeah, I like how because like
Shoot
yeah,
'em.
bring it.
You're in a fighting.
Where was that gun like 2 seconds ago? Like that gun was as tall as he was. That was impressive.
I don't know how you can hide that. I mean, obviously there's the traditional way to hide it, but wow.
No, I don't think so.
That's a little. That's
and
like
reinserting that in battle is just not a good idea.
that's Paris Hilton levels right there.
Yeah.
If you guys watch the South Park.
Yep. I got it.
Cool.
Maybe even Mr. Slave.
Maybe. Maybe. We also got Crystal Defenders.
Yes.
So Crystal Defenders, if you guys haven't seen, this is going back to what was it? It was the offshoot of Final Fantasy, the Secret of Mana.
Okay, that's Seeking Genetsu, but whatever.
Yeah. So it's an offshoot of that, but it's like a prequel to it.
Okay.
Where it's tower defense and there are
Okay.
crystals
Right.
that you have to defend.
Okay.
It's that simple, but you defend it through magic.
hmm
And that's about it. The game is there's not very many mechanics to it. You only get like 3 decisions. You get to power them up, obviously, but you get 3 different types of mages,
Okay.
and that's it.
There you
Obviously, those are black mage, white mage, and yellow mage.
go. All right. Then we have Fret Nice,
Mhm.
which is it's a dating sim for guitars.
I would play that.
Okay.
So is it two guitars? Is it 2 guitars that like
Well,
pair up?
you
Or
choose
you choose your guitar.
you choose your guitar, and Fret
Okay.
Nice is actually the dating company that's hooking guitars out.
Okay. Oh, so but
So
they're
it's
hooking-
like Match.com or whatever, and Fret Nice is the company, and
Yeah.
so you're setting up
2
guitars,
guitars.
right, and trying to
but not a person and a guitar. Right?
facilitate-
2 guitars.
right, 2 guitars.
Okay, so it'd be
And
weird if it was a person and a guitar. 'Cause I
Well,
would-
having played Hatful Boyfriend, which was person and penguins.
Yeah, but being a musician, I could totally see that where it's like, no, this is because any guitarist will tell you they're like, no, this is the guitar. You'll play
This one.
not those other ones. It's a special place in my heart. Even if you played multiple 7/4, I'm looking at my Taylor 714 over there, and even if you played multiple Taylors, it's like, no, that's mine. So
Yeah.
I don't care if it's my dad's. It's
All
mine.
right. So then we have Sonic 4, Episode 1 and 2.
Yes.
Which I had forgotten that Episode 2 ever came out.
Yeah, I
because
did
it
too.
was kind of like a Half-Life thing where they're like, hey, here's Episode 1, and then it just dead, and like there just wasn't news for a very, very long time. But they did eventually bring that out, and so this is the going back to 2D, which 2D Sonic will come up again in this episode.
Yes, it will.
So that would be fun.
I swear I had that queued up, but apparently I didn't.
And then Capcom Arcade Cabinet. Is that so? Is that going to be like the collection of the fighters, like the Street Fighter Alpha and?
I believe it is. I believe it is from what I was looking at.
So yeah, so that's probably a good one too. And go ahead and look through the collections because we've got Pac-Man Museum, Neo Geo Battle Coliseum, and Capcom Arcade Cabinet. all of those are probably like a good collection of of MAME emulators, and yeah. So check those out, see what you like, and go ahead and pick those up.
Especially if you're an old school gamer, you're gonna like this stuff. And if you're not, I think you'll appreciate a lot of the arcade stuff, because every time I go into an arcade nowadays, other than like Free Play Arcade that actually has their stuff,
right?
If you go into Dave & Buster's or places like, or a Main Event, it's like, okay, claw machines, games that are on a phone, and then a handful of decent games.
Yeah.
But a lot of the great classic, in my opinion, classic arcade games aren't there. You don't have the fighters that you have there, or the beat 'em ups, like the Simpsons beat 'em up, which was one of the best games ever.
That one's fun.
Yeah, it is. It's at Free Play Arcade, by the way.
Okay.
They brought that over there.
We'll probably be going there at the beginning of next month. There's gonna be a gaming event, and we'll talk about it on Twitter and everything.
Yeah.
But we're gonna meet up in Richardson at the Free Play Arcade. So
awesome.
If you want, you can join us there.
Yeah. Also, so we were talking about Pokemon Go earlier.
Right. We're contractually obligated to mention it.
To mention Pokemon Go?
To mention
Yes.
Pokemon Go at least once every 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Just because that's how the internet is right now.
Of course. And so Pokemon Go has launched in Japan, and which I thought it launched in Japan and Australia first. Apparently, I'm wrong. I knew I was, as soon as I saw that, I was like, oh, I was wrong. But the other news in this, which other than them wrecking our servers for a little bit,
well, it was actually delayed because the McDonald's, like, basically the McDonald's announcement of, hey, we're going to be in all the McDonald's everywhere.
Yes.
That got leaked, and then Niantic was like, if everybody knows this is launching, we're going to get overwhelmed. And so they actually pushed back the release date in Japan by another day or two, and still got wrecked.
So as much as I'm liking playing Pokemon Go, I would have preferred if they had waited until maybe this week or next to get their servers in check, because it's been really frustrating for people who are trying to play. And
I can understand that, but like we were saying earlier, this is unprecedented. No game has ever hit like this.
And they did it early.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Like we're technically we're out of beta. Karen was talking about in the comments. Technically we're out of beta now, because there was a beta. There was a closed beta. Everything leaked, and they just said, let's launch it live.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry, she was saying that. Sorry. She was clarifying the Japan bit. But the McDonald's tie-in is interesting. And there is precedent for this, because the hotspots for your Street Pass, McDonald's, almost everyone that I know of is a hotspot for Street Pass. If you guys have a 3DS, you can grab your Street Pass stuff there, which is really cool. So there's a precedent for that. I'm wondering how much money was exchanged. There was probably a good amount of money, because I don't eat at McDonald's, but if it's Pokestop, I
was really disappointed the other day. There was a Chick-fil-A, there was a hotspot, and right next to it was a Taco Cabana. And so we were outside on the patio, as close as we could physically get over toward. I couldn't get.
Oh man! So you're on the Taco Cabana.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there in the Colony, there's a place called Rockfish, and it's apparently really good seafood. It's been recommended to me by a friend, and every time I go there, there's a lure up, and I'm like, okay, you know what's up.
We actually went to a Magic Time Machine the other day.
Oh yeah.
Specifically because there are two hotspots.
Which completely makes sense, because that place is awesome.
Yeah. So we went there before we went to Addison Circle.
Right.
And Addison Circle is great. If you guys are in the Dallas area and you haven't been to Addison Circle and you play Pokemon, you need to go there. They were selling Team Mystic and Team Valor and Team Instinct shirts. I bought a tank top.
I saw that, yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Good stuff.
All right. So, Killer Instinct Season 3, they've introduced the final character for this season, and it's going to be Idol. And he looks a little bit different than I remember him, because I don't remember it. Like, I remember him having two heads.
Yeah.
Like, that both worked. Yeah, I don't.
Maybe I'm misremembering, but I do not remember.
Or maybe we just couldn't tell. That's always a possibility.
It could be.
But the main thing that I remember about Idol is that is that he could block high and low by just pressing back.
Yeah.
And that was kind of that.
That's cheating.
I didn't appreciate that.
That's cheating.
Unless I was him.
Yeah, it's one of those things you don't want to milk. You don't want other people to milk, but you're fine milking yourself.
Well, no. If I'm playing against people, I'm not going to choose idol because that's
cheating.
Besides, I don't have to. I'm really good with Jago.
That works. So this is season 3 at this point. I'm curious how the numbers are on this because this is a different way of releasing fighter games. So I'm curious how the sales have been, how the online community's been.
I wouldn't think it was that big because for me as someone who doesn't really participate in the online community side of fighting games, Evo is kind of my litmus test. Okay. And so that's what I look at, and how big is it? How many people are watching the finale or whatever? That lets me know how big a deal it is.
Sure.
And so yeah, I think that this might be one of those things that they're mostly focusing on the single player.
Yeah.
And with that, more characters. And if you can, and like playing against people physically in the room so that you can yell at them and point at them and laugh at them when you win.
Yeah.
I mean it's not really that much fun to win if you can't see your opponent cry after. That's why I like couch co-op.
Yes.
And couch competitive.
Speaking of that, and it segues into what we're about to talk about. But did you see?
Glad you appreciated that.
I did.
Yes.
This segues into what we're about to talk about. There was a video that I saw the other day. Obviously, there's a lot of videos of people trash talking online, but there's one of a Rocket League player, and they were in a party chat kind of. I think it may have been on PC, but no, it had to be on PS4. So they're in party chat, and one guy's stomping the other, but the one who is losing is just trash talking the whole time, saying your mama stuff. And then he goes into, send me your address and I will come there and show you blah blah blah, like basically threatening him. So the guy just stayed on and continued to play him. So I think the last match they were on, I think was like 7-1 or 7-1 or something like that, where the guy not trash talking was winning.
Yeah.
It was hilarious.
Well, because he wasn't distracted by trying to come up with new Yamama jokes.
Oh yeah, he didn't have to worry about that. He didn't have to worry about that. And some of his shots, he was very patiently, like it was a one-on-one match, and some of his shots he was very patiently like back up, and nudge, and and still was winning. Yep. But as far as actual Rocket League news go, we got some new cars.
Yeah, we do.
And I love that one on the left. I don't know, is that
the Charger? I think that's the Marauder.
I think that is the Marauder.
And then Aftershock is on the right.
Yep.
And then Massimini and Esper. And I want Esper just because it's a Final Fantasy VI tie-in.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to do that.
Yeah. They're pretty. I'm not a fan of the Masamune. I don't know if that's the Aftershock or the Masamune that's on the left there. I'm just not a fan of the big trucks. Yeah. Maybe it's just me, but no, I know it really doesn't.
That's fine. It's a cosmetic choice.
It is. Well, there's a slight difference in the hit detection.
I believe you. And I believe Cameron.
Yeah.
Because
he says the same thing.
So I was actually talking to my cousin the other day, and she said that because she has an Xbox One, they haven't hooked it up because they know that as soon as they do, then they're going to get distracted from putting their house all together. So they only get to set up the Xbox One after everything is in its place. And I'm like, yeah, that's probably a good call.
Yeah.
So
especially if they have Rocket League.
Yeah. Yeah. So you've played Dead Rising?
Yes. I played Dead Rising, and I played Dead Rising.
I'm looking forward to it.
So this should be Dead Rising 1 here. Let me just make sure. This is Dead Rising 1. I actually am really looking forward to this because I loved the first Dead Rising game, and I'm really hoping that these ports, as they were, because it doesn't say that it says original Dead Rising. It doesn't say that they're remaking it. So I'm guessing it's a port. I'm hoping that it'll, as you can see, it has not aged well.
Yeah.
But this game was very important for the amount of zombies that were in there, and people who haven't been gaming for that long don't realize having 200 zombies on screen. The processing power on that was at the time was a huge deal.
Yeah.
Now I will admit that Dead Rising 2 gets a lot of the mechanics better. has improved a lot of it, and you're at a carnival. Obviously, if you can tell immediately, the gameplay just looks the graphics look so much better. At a carnival in this one, a lot of the unique weaponry is still in there. I don't like the carnival in comparison to the mall. There's something to be said about zombies in a mall. You're trapped in there with them, and you're trapped in there with them because it's safe, but it's not. Is it safer than outside, or is it not? I mean, it's a double-edged sword.
So I want to play Dead Rising 1, mostly to get a specific trophy.
Okay.
On the Xbox version, there was an achievement because, like, as you're driving into town, there's a sign on the side of the road that says town name, population 53,000, and after you've killed 53,000 zombies, then you get a trophy called Genocide, which is also really fun. I forget the other game that did this, but there was another zombie game where you kill a bunch of zombies.
Yeah.
And they actually had kind of a reply achievement, which was Genocide +1, which was if you killed 53,001, then you got that trophy. And I thought that was cool. So I appreciate clever trophies.
Yeah.
Like I will go out of my way to get those. Just to, I mean, it's developers to us communication. It's kind of mostly a one-way street, but there are trophies that I will go a little bit farther to appreciate the cleverness of it.
Yeah,
and that seems like one.
I'll agree. I also think it's tongue-in-cheek because they're setting it up beforehand, saying, "Hey, there's 53,000 people here,"
right? And
you kill over 53,000, and
right.
there's still the exact same amount of zombies coming at you. Yeah, so I like that tongue-in-cheek aspect of them saying, "Yeah, we know this is a ridiculous premise." So, love it. So also coming out of Gravity Rush 2,
which coming out December 2nd.
Which we played Gravity Rush a little while ago, didn't we? You did, right?
Yeah, I played it on Vita.
Yeah,
and then it came out on PS4 and.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I played this one as well. I liked the mechanics in Vita. I haven't seen this is coming out. So this is coming out on Vita and PS4, right?
Nope.
No, is it
just PS4?
Ah, just PS4. Yep. I was gonna say because one of the better parts of the game was the motion on Vita. I thought was really interesting.
Well, Owen's played it on PS4, and he says it works really well, and I can see that, but I really like because they do have a good accelerometer in there, and you're able to, with the gyroscope, figure out exactly where you're aiming. Yeah. And I would imagine it probably works pretty well.
Yeah.
And definitely looks better. But yeah, Gravity Rush 2 does look like fun. I'm disappointed that it's not coming to Vita, but I would rather have more people experience this because I experienced it. I enjoyed it. Kat is a really fun protagonist.
She is.
And the cat is also a really fun companion.
Yeah. And
like it's good. Like it was showing some of the comic book style gameplay.
That's what I liked about it the most.
Yeah.
Was that the comic book manga kind of look to it, because even in the rest of the gameplay, it's very true to that style.
Yeah.
Which I really appreciate.
I really enjoyed. My favorite thing about that game was even like I enjoyed the actual game itself, and there's running around and you're doing missions or whatever, but I just enjoyed because like the entire time you're bouncing off of stuff and targeting and just traversal.
Yeah.
Is so much fun, and exploration because because eventually I was like, wait a minute. If I jump off this, go under the city, fall back this way, and then go, oh, look at all those things.
Very inventive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was a thing that I had never experienced before. And so I encourage you to at least check it out. And yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
See what you think.
Disappointing it's not a Vita, but still, check it out.
But speaking of fun things on PS4,
yes.
From August 23rd to September 6th, we're getting another Neo demo, and I'm excited about it.
I'm completely fine with this. As you know, we're big Souls fans, and this game is basically turning into a Souls-like game. That should be a thing now. Souls-like. Roguelike's a thing?
Yeah.
Souls-like's a thing now.
Well, I mean, basically, it's kind of taking over the action RPG genre.
Yes.
So It's kind of like there were cover-based shooters before Gears of War, but now they are a version of Gears of War.
Yeah, pretty much. Everyone compares it to Gears of War.
Yeah, because they did it so well.
They really did.
And another thing that really encourages me about this is like after they did the first demo, they came back and said, all right, this is what we heard from you, and this is what we're going to improve in the future. Mm-hmm. And so I feel like that they are allowing the community to assist in this. Mm-hmm. I also like the creativity because like we're seeing right here, I'm looking forward to trying out these magic spells.
they're so non-traditional, and I love it. It's this kind of illusionary, but not an illusion. I guess I don't know if it'd be considered that, but
it's an illusion with mass.
Yes, that's exactly what it is. It's not what we've played in the Souls games, where you have the pyromancy and or even regular.
Well, that's part of the reason that they have to be restricted on that is because they're playing to a very specific lore, and those of you that talk with me at any point about Souls games know that like the history, development, and schools of magic is my favorite part of all the Souls lore.
Yeah. And
so in order to tell that story, they need to restrict themselves to these specific things and have nuance to it.
But even compared to like Skyrim or other traditional magic stuff, where you have fire and ice, even then you don't summon sharks that swim through the air.
Yeah, generally.
I like that.
So yeah, that is a game that I'm looking forward to, and I will definitely be playing this. And hopefully they'll have another bonus like they did last time. Because, excuse me, if you beat the demo last time, then when the game comes out, you get a piece of DLC free.
Ah, see, I missed that.
Obvious, cool. and like that is
well, that gets
perfect marketing.
Yeah.
Because I already played this. I already have a free piece.
Might as well go ahead.
Yeah. And because they're creating a new IP, right? Is it a new IP or was it a? Oh no. Yeah, it just got announced way too early. But yeah, so I'm looking forward to it, and the more I see about the way Team Ninja is handling it, because Team Ninja also did the Ninja Gaiden redos on Xbox, and so like I that's not my style of action combat. It's too fast and too frantic.
Yeah, but one thing that is my style that we're getting is some more Tomb Raider. So the Tomb Raider 20-year celebration. I can't believe Tomb Raider is 20 years old. 20-year celebration. So launches on PS4. This is when Tomb Raider: Rise of Tomb Raider comes out, because this is basically when the 1-year embargo comes up, is what it looks like.
Yeah.
So classic models and everything, and an exclusive chapter with PlayStation VR.
Yes.
Totally happy about that.
So that's going to be an exploration of Croft Manor.
And that's amazing, because that's one of my favorite things in the old Lara Croft games, the old Tomb Raider games, was going through her manor, and the like gymnasium kind of area where it's basically an area for you to train and test the mechanics as a player and as Lara, which I thought was really cool. And I'm absolutely loving the reboot that they've done. Another bit of that in semi-related news. I don't know if you saw the movie, the Tomb Raider movie that they're going to be working on. They haven't announced it, but the actress was saying, we've been told it's based on the Rise of the Tomb Raider.
Okay.
Like that. So I'm really happy about that.
Well, one of the other things that they're giving us is because it's the 20th year celebration, you can put Lara from Tomb Raider 2 into this game. And so those graphics directly interacting with today's graphics is hilarious.
That's really fun.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to that. And if you have the season pass on Xbox, then basically you'll be getting all of this except for the VR bit. I mean, you can still explore the manor, but it's not in VR.
Yeah.
also one of the other chapters is because they have the VR and ooh, you get to look around and explore, and this is really fun. But they also have the same environment, but with a zombie mode, and you're trying to defend the manor while being attacked by zombies. And I like that. That's a great. It's a great juxtaposition of styles and good reuse of an environment, because they work really hard to make these environments exquisite. And so if you have and that's, I would like to see that in Battlefront, you know, a VR section where I get to walk around on the battlefield of Hoth and experience that in that way, and then go shoot a bunch of stormtroopers.
I agree. By the way, there we go.
Yes, we
got a little weird with the green screen.
We groom each other.
Yes, we do. But what else? We got the Xbox One S. So they announced that it's launching August 2nd. Only the 2 terabyte version.
Right, which will be $400, and then they'll have a 1 terabyte version for $350, and then a 1 terabyte version or a 500 gig for $300.
Yeah.
I still don't know who this is for. Because I've been considering an Xbox One.
Yeah.
And this looks cool. I like the slimmer version. I like the whole HDR thing.
HDR, it's 4K ready for 4K video streaming for your Netflix, because Netflix has a lot of stuff in 4K.
Yeah.
It's tiny. Hoping it's not going to have heat issues because of that. IR blaster, so that you don't need the Kinect for this if you want to use the integration for your TV and your and all of that. I think this is fantastic if the Scorpio wasn't coming out. And that's the biggest problem for me. I'm looking at the PlayStation 4 Neo, and so basically towards the end of the year you have the PlayStation Neo, and then you have the Xbox One S, and one of those I see a future in the platform. I see Sony is basically saying, here is an upgraded PlayStation 4. It's going to work better for your VR. Not that the PlayStation 4 is not going to work on the regular PlayStation 4.
Well, the other thing is the thing about the Neo though is they're not saying it seems like a very small incremental upgrade. The Scorpio seems like it's going to be a powerhouse.
It's a huge upgrade, and that's the question. You're put in the conundrum of, do I upgrade or buy this model? Or do I, if you currently have an Xbox One, do you wait for a year or so and buy a Scorpio? If
there's not another answer to that question, the answer is yes.
Yeah. Well, if Scorpio is $700 or $800, do you wait another year and buy a Scorpio?
You wait another year to at least find out.
Yeah.
To make an informed decision. Because
it looks beautiful. I love it.
Yeah.
But I don't want to buy it to upgrade in a year. PlayStation, the new PlayStation Neo that they haven't solidly announced yet, but but I mean, I'm gonna buy one of those. I'm gonna more than likely upgrade to that. But the Xbox, I don't have a reason to at this point, and I think that is kind of a downside. I will say the upside to this, I do like that they're announcing the 2 terabyte one first, because if you're looking at these models, this is just my advice to you. If you're looking at these models, you need the 2 terabyte one. I mean, you could get the smaller one and then do data management and delete stuff.
Or you could follow at Kenja Deals on Twitter and pick up an external drive.
You could do that, but the external drive for gameplay doesn't work as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you're talking about data management and absolutely needing this.
Well, you can't migrate the data to your hard drive from your external hard drive.
Okay.
You have to remove it, re-download, and reinstall.
Bugger that.
Yes. So if it was a quick slidey thing, cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So that's my opinion on it. Now, if you don't have an Xbox One at this point, it wouldn't be too bad.
I have a call.
I'll let him take this. I'll talk a little bit about Batman while you're away.
Okay.
So the Batman Telltale game actually popped up gameplay trailer for this. Actually, if you guys are watching the channel on YouTube, you saw my reaction video to this, and that is not it at all. There we go. So Batman Telltale, which we've been looking forward to. I'm a big fan of the Telltale games for their storytelling aspect. It's one of the reasons I play games, is the stories. I like the art style. I think that cell shading like this, it really holds up. If you look at this 10 years later, it's going to hold up a lot better than a lot of things that are coming out right now. And I like not only the storytelling, but it seems that they're trying to pose Bruce Wayne as a big part of the Batman character, which he is. And there's a couple lines that Alfred says in this trailer that basically, to me, kind of solidify that as this is, just as much about Bruce Wayne. You saw Harvey Dent there just a little while ago. I don't know if they were going, it seems like partially they're going like the Bruce Timm style, kind of bulky guys. I don't know exactly why they're trying to do that. To me, I think they look a little too similar. Harvey and Bruce look a little too similar in the way that they're doing this. Also, Vicky Vale. Vicky Vale popping up after a long time absence. She was seen in the Arkham Asylum or Arkham City in like the very beginning. Pretty sure it was Arkham City, but I can't remember. She is seen in one of those and in the movie, but other than that, she's nowhere. Got some Catwoman there as well. Catwoman looks fantastic. I love me some Catwoman. So this one I'm really looking forward to because it's Telltale and because it's Batman. I think that with Rocksteady moving or not doing the Arkham games anymore, it's kind of left a void where we don't have good Batman games coming out as frequently. We can't look at it on the horizon. A lot of us look at video games to, in a year from now or 2 years from now to say, okay, what's coming out? And in this case, this fills the Batman void that's currently left without any Arkham games. I'm not saying it's going to be as good as Arkham. It's going to be different, but I like the storytelling aspect of it. Kevin's coming back.
Speaking of storytelling.
Yeah.
And I would suspect that you probably touched on this, but this is interesting to me because of the emphasis on Wayne.
Yes.
Like, Wayne is severely underused, and
because he is
he's the world's greatest detective.
Yeah.
Let him detect.
And Bruce Wayne is just as, Bruce Wayne and Batman obviously are the same person. Spoilers if you didn't know. But a lot of the detective aspect of Batman, if you read comics, a lot of his sleuthing he's doing as Bruce Wayne. Mm-hmm. It's easy to...
Because Bruce Wayne, ironically, can get into places where Batman can't.
Yes.
And that's a lot of the...
It doesn't seem as intrusive when you're like, hey, I'm Bruce Wayne, I want to check this out. And everyone's like, oh, you're Bruce, yes.
Yeah.
Give you things.
And the balancing of that, and the usefulness of the Bruce Wayne persona,
yeah.
which is what it is. Yeah. The usefulness of that persona is something that is very rarely touched on outside of the comics.
Yes.
And so that's one of the reasons that I think this is interesting and would buy it if I liked Telltale games.
I do.
I might even try it again.
I know
this will be attempt number 4 if it happens.
Well, I hope that you like it. I liked the what I played of Game of Thrones. I want to play the rest of that because of the Game of Thrones story and that aspect. And we don't have Game of Thrones right now, so I gotta give a Game of Thrones fix.
There's that.
Yeah.
I'm actually listening again through book 5.
Nice.
That's my solution.
I may end up doing something like that as well. In non-Game of Thrones news.
Right. But in murdery news.
Yes.
Gary Busey.
Yes.
Have you ever wanted to kill him?
Who hasn't? I can't believe it. See, Gary Cole and Gary Busey, like they had a competition. The people got to vote which one they wanted to kill. Who wouldn't want to kill Gary Busey? And I don't mean that in a negative way towards him. I just mean he is a character, and I don't mean a character in a video game. That man is bonkers.
Yeah.
I mean, he was out there, and then I don't know if you know much about Gary Busey's history, But
Not really.
he was bonkers, and then he got in a motorcycle accident and found Jesus and got like even more bonkers. Like it's just so out there, and I absolutely love mind control because it's Gary Busey. I just feel bad for his son, and there's Gary Cole popping in there as well.
Who's Gary Cole?
An actor. I don't know what he's been. I'm gonna look it up really quick.
See, that's the thing. Like,
I know
I feel like a better competition though would have been Gary Busey or Ron Perlman.
Oh yeah.
Like that would have been a really fun like head-to-head competition. Seeing which.
Yeah. So Gary Cole, you would probably recognize from Talladega Nights as the dad.
Okay.
Did you watch Talladega
No.
Nights? He was in
Who
that.
was he in Office? Oh, Bill Lumber. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
He would ask us. Okay. So that's.
So
who
if
he
you
is.
wanted to kill Lumberg, I guess they had that aspect of it.
I can see that. That is more appealing. But
Yeah.
but we had to look and find that out.
But
So.
yeah, I didn't recognize him because he just kind of blends into that Lumberg
Yeah.
character. He becomes that. But speaking of that has nothing to do with blending into anything.
No. Speaking of bad segues.
Yes, we got some so Overwatch negative news, or I don't even know if it's considered. It's just an update. The Overwatch issues that have been ongoing for PS4 players are still ongoing.
Initiate Overwatch recall. That's a perfect. that's good video selection by my professional video selector over here.
You're welcome.
Okay, so what happened was about 2 weeks ago. There were some people that would log in, and they would be unable to, like they would have lost considerable amounts of progress. Some people would lose 3 or 4 days worth of progress, and they would lose gear and all this kind of stuff.
All the stuff that you got unlocked with packs and everything. Yeah.
Right. And they were able to restore all of that except for the skill ranking, because all of that is very subjective and based on what you're doing at the time and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But that's one of those things that based on your skill, you're going to kind of stabilize. And
Yeah.
you're going to hang out in kind of this area with the people who weren't affected by it.
Yeah.
And so that's what ended up happening. So they were able to resolve and restore all of the information, all of the data and progress that was made, except for the one that really is going to kind of level itself out in the end anyway. Because you are going to lose sometimes, you are going to win other times, and statistically speaking, all of that's going to balance out anyway.
It will. It's just frustrating. It's going to take a while to get back into that balance.
Yeah.
I don't play Overwatch, but being in, I used to play Magic the Gathering in tournaments, and making sure that the time you put into those, and getting to a specific ranking and staying there, that is time consuming.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we got some news for PlayStation Play, which I don't know a lot about the PlayStation Store Play.
Okay. This is the same thing. Where they pushed out like Shovel Knight. Basically, it's their answer to Xbox Live Arcade,
Gotcha.
which is no longer happening. But this is their answer to that, and they're putting out kind of the more
early
some
stuff.
of the super special indies that they found.
Gotcha.
Because PlayStation actively goes out and finds
Yes.
really quality indie stuff, but there is some of it that's even more super special, like
Definitely, this is Headlander.
yeah,
as we're
which
watching
is
here.
Double Fine and Sony Santa Monica. So you've got a Tim Schafer thing going on here, and those people look like they are tripping so hard. I can feel the grass all over my back.
I was gonna say like the robotic kind of robotic / seductive walk was kind of just weird, like, and then I realized like a lot of them have the kind of little quirks in their walks. I will be honest, this could be interesting. I'm a fan of Tim Schafer, but when I first read the headline, I thought it was Highlander, and I flipped out that it's not Highlander.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But so the mechanics of this one is basically you put your head on different robot bodies, and you get the different abilities with that. And like I said, I mean, Double Fine is one of the biggest names that still remains independent, and they make weird, quirky stuff.
Yeah, Brutal Legend, if you guys didn't check out, I absolutely love Brutal Legend. I think that there's a point in the game where it becomes a little tower defense-y, but if you can get past that, the rock aspect to it is really cool, and and Jack Black really fits in that. I'm a big fan of a lot of Tim Schafer stuff.
Yeah.
All the way back to the point and clicks.
Next up we have Abzu, which I've already bought and paid for.
Oh, you did?
Yes.
Okay.
Because this is Giant Squid, which is the art director from that game company that was in charge of Journey.
Well, that makes sense.
And with that, I'm intrigued.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, it has an Austin Wintory soundtrack. So I bought it.
So it's an instant
because
buy for you. Yeah.
because that man can do no wrong.
Yeah.
His work is amazing.
I couldn't find the trailers for some of these, but we did also get Brutal.
Brutal is the axie art shootery thing.
Yep.
So that
Which
one should be.
that can be fun. I mean, it's not my thing, but
Yeah.
Bound, however, I really
Bound is the other one I bought.
it just looks gorgeous, and
I wish I could have been recording this, but when you buy at least for Abzu and Bound, you also get a dynamic theme for free when you pre-order, and if you pre-order 2 or more of these, you get a coupon which gives you 10% off of a future PSN purchase.
ooh, could be used.
So I'm gonna so I bought those 2.
Yep.
So I'm gonna go ahead and start saving up because I know I want Final Fantasy.
Yep.
I want Fractured Butthole,
Yes.
and there was
I already pre-ordered it.
yeah, and there was one other one. So if if I can buy 3 of them at once, then I mean those are like full price games that I'm going to buy
So
anyway.
it's 10% off of the purchase. So it's not just
It's
an
a
item.
coupon that you apply to a purchase.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, because those
And
are
so-
what you want anyways.
Right. And so if I just start saving up PSN cash
Yeah.
and then buy it before the first one comes out,
Yeah.
then I get all of that, and maybe I'll do it,
Pre-order bonuses.
and maybe I'll do it during a sale,
That'd
and
be
I'll
really cool.
throw a couple more in, and so
And you get the pre-order bonuses,
basically what I'm saying is I've been suckered into this by a coupon, and I'm like, how can I give them as much money? Yep,
at the same time
I'm
as
gonna
less.
give them. I'm gonna give them the most amount of money I can.
Most amount of money for the least amount of money. The least amount of money for the most amount of game.
Yeah.
Yeah, that.
So
Which I was going to say that Fractured Butthole is the one that I mean, obviously Final Fantasy's is an instant buy for me, but the pre-order bonus for Fractured Butthole to be able to get the Stick of Truth on PlayStation 4.
which that's not available individually.
It is
'Cause
not.
I was trying to find it the other day, and I was like, why is this not here? And it's only available right now as a pre-order bonus.
Yes. So if you were thinking about pre-ordering it, I mean, do that.
Going back to Bound though, what I was saying about the dynamic theme is it's because like the way that gameplay kind of works is like the world kind of dissolves and reforms and does all this stuff around you, and your character is a ballerina, and so Nora comes into the living room and she sees this character up on the screen on point,
That's great.
and she's like, she's a ballerina. And I said, yes, we're going to have that game in 3 weeks. She goes, and I wish I had that to watch over and over again.
That's just great.
And even if the game is not that great, it was absolutely worth it for that moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All about strong female leads and showing women that it's not just about not just about big burly guys with guns.
Yeah.
We've
Speaking
transcended
of that, actually, there's another personal story.
Yeah.
Ninja Pizza Girl. Have you seen any of the?
I have.
Yeah.
I didn't get this queued up, but I look into that because I'm gonna have to get it.
Yeah.
It's very interesting. I'll let you.
I can see it. Like there are some games that I buy for their educational value for me personally. Almost Sunlight, Never Ending Nightmares. I know people with some of those same mental health issues that the creators of those games dealt with. And so for me, it's really important to be able to get into the character of these leads and be able to understand that better, because when I'm playing a game, because like I can read a book, I can get emotionally invested in the story and the characters. If I'm watching a movie, I will invest in the characters. But when I'm playing a game, I become that person, and I'm experiencing this as somebody else. And Ninja Pizza Girl is a game that, mechanics aside, like I don't even really care about the mechanics, but it's not a combat game.
No, your enemies aren't guys trying to mug you, or that, and that's what the creator thought.
Yeah, he was like, okay, so who are you trying to kill? And they're like, nobody. And he's like, well, who's trying to kill you? And it's nobody. So it's apparently he and his wife are a game development team, and then their 4 daughters are kind of like their sounding board for their pitches and stuff. And the headline, I'll try to tweet this out later, but the headline on the article says, what is the scariest thing in the world? Ask your teenage daughter. And what they said was their answer to what's scary. Is it zombies? No. Is it robots? No. And they said other teenagers are the scariest thing. And that's what this is about. And you're trying to maintain morale and keep from getting laughed at. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. And
very unique. Very unique gameplay, which is what I'm loving about the games that are coming out now. There are so many games that are coming out that have these unique aspects that would not have been published at all. No one would have gotten their hands on, but now we actually get to. So really happy about that. As happy as I can be about teenage girl getting made fun of. Speaking of things that I guess I don't know if I'm happy about, but I can understand. So Phantom Lord was banned from Twitch. He was a Counter-Strike player, and he was doing the gambling like a lot of people were doing. I've seen that he's still back up. He's up on YouTube and a couple other places, but he's been banned from Twitch. If you want to talk about the politics aspect, there's you can argue a little bit about that, but he did violate their terms of service, and there's kind of a ban hammer that's coming around on a lot of these players. It violates the terms of service for Steam. It doesn't technically it doesn't violate those terms of service for Twitch though, because Twitch has like poker gambling stuff all the time. So I think it's Twitch trying to distance themselves from my understanding of it.
And I appreciate that, because one of the things that we saw when like if you look at the numbers for the 2 guys that ended up being the owners of CS:GO, for like a week or so their numbers were dropping. Now they're coming back up, and they're starting to ramp up again and accelerate, because the internet has forgotten. And
not forgiven, just forgotten. And there's a handful of people who will keep it in their memory and yell about it, but majority of people just don't care. They just want they are more casual viewers. They just want their content. That's all they care about.
And
which irritates me. It irritates me. It's like, oh, you got away with that. You got away with taking all of those people's money, and now you're just going to get more money because you're such a prominent YouTuber.
But in a similar aspect, Valve has actually issued cease and desist letters to 23 different Counter-Strike CS:GO gambling sites, which, going up against Valve's lawyers, would be terrifying. They have all the money. I mean, like you're done.
Now, I was reading into this a little bit, and they're not outright saying it. People were saying, well, why doesn't Valve just shut them down? The problem with that on the back end is Valve's API that allows these type of transactions,
and which is necessary for other types of transactions.
Exactly.
And this is not the only thing that people are doing. Obviously, if this was the only thing that people could do with the API, then it wouldn't exist in the first place.
Oh yeah. I mean, or if someone found an exploit and it wasn't going to hurt other games and other companies, Valve is looking at this saying they're not going to spend the money and manpower to rewrite code to stop this that will break other games and other transactions that are legal or legally trading something. If you legally obtain said item, Steam's system is there, so I can say, hey, I got this. You want that, don't you? Trade it. So
and the transaction of digital items for real world money is something that's necessary, and Valve makes money off of that anyway.
Yeah.
So like that is a part of their business plan.
I didn't think they were supposed to make money off of it. The third party, Valve doesn't make money off of it.
When you buy items.
When you buy an item, yes. Right. But the third party part, because you're buying packs to randomly get released. Yeah. So, in other news, we got a new game that's coming out by Matt Thorsten. This guy did Towerfall.
Yeah. And which I love that game, and so I'm looking forward to this because it looks like a combination of Towerfall and like Ice Climbers, but I don't have to keep up with my sister.
Yeah, I was gonna say Towerfall and what is the game? Fez.
Yeah, but I want to play this one.
Oh, was that against Phil Fish or just against the game?
No, I have nothing against Phil Fish, but like I wandered around in that game, and then I was like, okay, I've been walking around in this world. What?
I like Fez.
I'm done.
I like Fez.
Well, like I appreciate an open world, but if I can't tell, like I didn't know where I was supposed to go, what I was supposed to be doing, or what I had accomplished so far. Like I know I found some glowing things and picked them up. I didn't know what I was working towards.
How long did you play? Like 20 minutes?
No, like an hour and a half. I picked up a bunch of stuff, and
well, because it like sets up in like the I want to say the first half hour that like you collect these pieces of the cube that goes into the thing and you unlock like
I got 3D and I wandered in a village, and then I went off into like this mountainy area and stuff, and I explored there, and then I went back to the village and there's nothing new there, and I went back out to the mountains, and I didn't know if I had been here to this place before, and a lot of people did.
It doesn't. I was gonna say it'll tell you a little bit about what to do, but it doesn't outright tell you 100% what you're going for. But I thought it was fun. But speaking of things that sound fun to me. We got Laser Disco Defenders, which sounds fun.
This looks like so much fun, and it's on Vita, so I'll buy it.
So you'll buy it, because if it's on Vita, you'll buy it.
So it's going to be $10 with a launch discount, and basically the premise is it's like a twin stick shooter, but you also, whenever you fire your shots, your shots are going to exist until the level ends. So they're just going to keep bouncing infinitely, and
you can get hurt by your own shots, right?
Yes. Yeah. And
I do like
that sounds awesome, and I'm very much about that. And the soundtrack is also a lot of fun. So, I mean, fashion.
Yeah, fashion. Well, it sounds bonkers to me because as much as I like shmups, it just sounds like you're going to get to a point where you are dealing with way too many things.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And then you get to a point where you might, because of the aiming that you had to do at a specific time, you now are in a situation where there's no way to dodge.
Yeah. And that's going to happen.
Like that,
and well, like you, but because of that, you'll learn and you'll figure out different strategies, and you'll reach a point where you get a better sense for, okay, when I do something like this, it tends to play out this way. Let me see if I can try another strategy.
Yeah.
And that type, for whatever reason, my memory is garbage, but my subconscious is apparently a lot better at that.
Okay.
And so that's why games like Binding of Isaac and Souls and stuff, like those work better for me, because I don't decide, oh, let me try this new strategy. But if I go back and watch gameplay of me playing, at the beginning of Dark Souls 3 versus where I am now, my strategy has enhanced
Sure.
substantially,
Sure.
and that's why I'm enjoying Dark Souls 3 a lot because of what I adapted from Bloodborne.
Yeah. How far are you in Dark Souls 3?
I'm wondering in the King's Garden.
Okay.
Something King's Garden.
Okay.
Corrupted King's Garden? Conceived King's Garden. Consummated King's Garden.
Ooh.
Consumed.
Consumed.
Found it.
I couldn't remember what it was. Even though I played it.
Yep.
In other non-Dark Souls news, we got.
But continuing with games that I'm gonna buy.
Yes, Pac-Man 2 Championship. Well, the first thing I thought about that I thought when I saw this was it reminds me of that PlayStation game that came out, the PlayStation 4. It was one of the early ones we made. I can't remember if we reviewed it. It's the cat game where you're rescuing. No.
See,
can't remember the
I
name.
played DX, and I loved the DX.
I'm trying to remember what the heck was
so
the
good.
PlayStation game. It reminds me of that, just the way it's phasing between worlds.
Mhm.
But it looks fun. You're taking the Pac-Man concept and the tightness of the controls look like they're. I mean, it looks like they're really, they've kept that aspect of Pac-Man because Pac-Man is fast-paced. But
Yeah.
they've made it look more fast-paced. Pac-Man is a very Twitch kind of game. It's very fast-paced, but it doesn't look like that if you're just watching.
Right.
In this case, it really looks like it's amped up.
Yeah.
So I'm really.
And it's also really fun because like you build the combos and there's a lot of satisfaction in the chomp 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 chomp. Like that's just fun.
Yeah.
And so yeah,
That one looks cool.
I will be getting that.
Yeah. And that's gonna so that was announced for September.
Yes.
So something to look forward to for September.
Mhm.
Another thing that a lot of people are looking forward to is No Man's Sky, and I think there's been a little bit of controversy with this, partially based on how they're delaying the game, and it's very ambitious, but a specific a biologist who also is a computer programmer basically says, oh, the formula that you guys are using for your procedural generated worlds and everything, yeah, I got the patent on that.
He's not a computer programmer.
I thought he was.
No, they're using a biological algorithm to create the
Oh,
worlds.
I thought it was computer. Okay. So, yeah.
So one of the things though that kind of bothered me about this is Kotaku. I read the Kotaku article, and I think that's the one. Yeah, that's the one we have in here. Schreier said that he found out that this was a thing that was around, and he reached out to both the biologists and No Man's Sky. Who makes that?
I don't remember.
Hello Games.
Yeah.
He reached out to both of them and said, so is this okay? And neither one of them got back to him. And so now, a couple of weeks after they've gone gold, after they're ready to launch, now the guy comes out and says, hey, I own that. Just letting you know.
Yeah.
Go ahead and release your game.
Yeah, basically said, yeah, you can release it and I'll take your money.
Yeah, and he hasn't said that yet, but it just, it's another dampening thing on I mean, I have seen the entire team in a single photograph.
Yep.
Taken click.
Yep. Well, the sad part about it is that it wasn't oh yeah, I didn't realize that was a thing. Like they knew.
Yeah.
They knew what they were doing. I don't think they realized the legal ramifications of that. Maybe because they're such a small company.
Yeah, it's hard to say.
I'm still looking forward to No Man's Sky. Hopefully it'll come out.
Yeah.
Hopefully this doesn't stop it completely because they keep.
Well, it'll come out, but I hope that that they're still able to be successful and that this doesn't turn into a huge protracted thing where they're spending all their time fighting that and being in court.
Yeah.
What have you.
I agree. In controversial news.
Non anything news.
Non-controversial news. I had it here.
We get Blue Beetle
Yes.
for Injustice 2.
Yes. So
which,
if you guys are a Blue Beetle fan, then that's
and
fantastic.
who isn't?
At least it's not Booster Gold, okay?
I think he would be hilarious in Injustice.
To have him in Injustice.
Yeah.
See him just getting it handed to him.
So.
the other bit in the headline was that Blue Beetle and Wonder Woman, because this is the first time we've seen Wonder Woman in the Injustice. We knew Wonder Woman was coming.
she was in the first one, so
yeah. We knew that was going to. Plus, she's part of the Trinity for the Justice League. If you're going to have the Justice League, you have Wonder Woman, you have Batman, you have Superman. Personally, I'm irritated on the non-gaming scene. If you saw the trailer for the new Justice League movie, which you probably didn't because you stay away from these things.
Yep.
But you probably knew this already, that Green Lantern's not in it.
How do you?
Yeah, that's what I'm irritated about. So I don't know if DC is still saying, oh, they think that Green Lantern's a failed concept because of the Ryan Reynolds movie, which Ryan Reynolds did a decent job in. I don't think it was Ryan Reynolds that tanked that. It was the story and the directing. But yeah, so he is not in the Justice League, at least in the trailer that we've seen, anything that we've announced, maybe unless it's something secret. Green Lantern's a big part of Justice League. Martian Manhunter, I'd say, be a big part of it as well, but to have him not there and have Cyborg there kind of baffles me.
Yeah.
And if you want to make this about like making sure that they're multicultural, multiracial, there have been African American Green Lanterns, and they've been female Green Lanterns. So it's not an argument of that. You don't have to choose Hal Jordan.
Planet Green Lanterns.
Yes. So it's not even an argument of that. If you want to have the diversity, you can still have the diversity in there.
I didn't know any of that, and I'm just trying to process that now because that is bullcrap.
Yeah. Now I will say that the trailer does look promising. It does. But then again, no, I wasn't.
Trailers are supposed to look promising.
Yeah. Well, like Suicide Squad, I'm getting more and more hyped on.
Okay.
And I'm getting more and more hyped on. Whitney just is not into it at all. And the biggest reason is because she feels that Harley has been boiled down to an object.
Yeah.
And I think part of that is the trailers, and part of that is the internet with the Margot Robbie pictures, which like the pictures and gifs of just repeating of her like putting on her shirt, like, and people posting that all the time. Then I think that
let's keep in mind that the internet is perpetually 12.
Yeah, that's true. But
so
Harley, there's a lot to the Harley character.
Yeah.
And I'm worried that they're not going to go into enough of it. But we'll see how they do it. Anyways, I have my tangent on DC. So we were talking about Valve. We talked about some of these things we already actually hit.
Yeah,
upon.
some of these just seg well into each other.
We bounce around. But we were talking about Rocket League before.
We were. And so so Psyonix, and we continue to report on this as they've worked on it. Basically, they have everything ready to go. All they need is permission from Sony, and they can start enacting this. And within 24 hours, we can all be playing together.
We need this.
And that is so exciting.
Yeah. This.
And CD Projekt Red has also said that they have started to work on their code so that when Gwent comes out, that can be universal. Because and that's the thing, is once this has happened once, then companies will be like, oh, well then let me do that and just have people who play my game play my game.
Yeah, there's certain games that it does not hurt at all, and in fact is more beneficial. Gwent is a great example of that.
Yeah.
If they put it's basically what's happened with Minecraft until recently. Now they're kind of integrating the servers together. But if you play Minecraft on a tablet and you play Minecraft on a PC, you can't play those two together. But Hearthstone, doesn't matter where you are, you're playing together.
Yeah.
I play against people on PC. And there's no advantage to playing on PC like maybe a first-person shooter would have. With Rocket League, I would say that there's not a big advantage that PC users have.
Even people that are playing on PC are usually playing with
a controller
console controllers
for this game. Yeah.
So
unless you're playing a first-person shooter, there's something great about playing with a first-person shooter or an MMO. So there's something great about playing with controllers. So I want this to happen.
Yeah.
And I especially want it to happen with Gwent.
And I believe that it will. I believe that it can. I believe that it will. And one of the things that I was really happy about was Jeremy Dunham said, and this was part of the same press release where he said, all we need is for Sony to tell us we can do this. But in the same statement he says, this is more complicated than most people realize, and I don't even know what they have to, roadblocks and things they have to figure out, because if Sony does this and opens it up and says, yeah, come on, sure, come in and play, and then it crashes everything, which is a potential thing that could happen.
Yeah, your matchups, what it would crash from a engineering standpoint, what it would crash would not be playing the game at all. It would be the specific people trying to integrate with those players. Right. So your Sony players would have issues integrating with Xbox players and everything. And if they don't give you the option in the game, if they just say, here it is, and you're by default, no way to edit, you're always playing with Xbox people, PC people, and Sony people, then Sony people may have a horrible time. Mm-hmm. And PC people may have a horrible time as well, but...
Yeah, and you could have... Because, like,
you can still play single player?
A lot of the fun of... Get that. There's a trophy for it.
For playing single player?
For winning a season.
Oh, I haven't done that.
Well, you should, because you need it for the platinum.
I want... yeah. How hard is it to platinum that game? Not too hard?
Not really.
Yeah, usually I don't go after them because they're just...
Yeah.
You know.
Well, the thing is that you'll already have most of them. Like there's a couple where it's like, hey, you need to customize every part, and like you need to win once with every car, stuff like that.
Okay,
I mean,
that's
it's
not too hard.
Yeah, it's not. Most of them are not even going to be things that actually like you have to go out. Like one of my favorite ones is pool shot, where you knock another car into the ball and then it goes into the goal, because they keep up with that stat.
No. I had to have done that before.
Yeah,
I mean, there's
probably.
so many accidental stuff.
Yeah, and that's
someone's definitely
probably
done that to me. I've scored on myself accidentally trying to get the ball away from my goal.
Yeah.
And then someone hit me that hit the ball.
Yeah.
I love Rocket League. What I love about Rocket League is the same thing that I love about Magic the Gathering and other games that if you make a game that's this fun, it doesn't matter if you win or lose.
Yeah.
You have fun.
Yeah.
I can play a game and get it handed to me the entire time, and I'll still have fun with Rocket League.
Well, see, like I was talking about my cousin coming over the other day, and we played a game. It was the two of us and one bot versus 3 computers.
Okay.
And we just went in and played. We lost.
What did you put the bot difficulty on? Did you put it on like normal or hard?
I think it was. It wasn't All-Star. It was whatever was right below that.
Right below that, okay.
Yeah.
Because those are difficult. All-Stars just...
All-Stars was brutal.
I'm not that good.
But I mean, it was a thing, like, because, like I said, she has the Xbox, wants to hook it up. She's like, do you have any game recommendations? And I'm like, this one. This one is fun.
Yeah.
And I just hadn't played in so long. And there's a definite arc. My first game, after I haven't played in a while, is gonna be bad. And
second or third is when you're like, oh, okay, now I'm getting it.
That's how I play this game. I remember now. And yeah.
I'm getting better about the subtleties. I need to play it. I would like to play it more to get better, but there's just so many games that are out that it's kind of hard to do that. It eats up my time. I didn't see...
Kingslave is coming out August 19th in U.S. theaters. It says select theaters nationwide, which means that I'll probably get to go to the Angelica. I like the Angelica.
I do like the Angelica. Hopefully this...
And Alamo Draft House will almost certainly do it because they're nerdy.
Yes, they are. Speaking of Alamo Draft House, it's not at Alamo Draft House, but it's an event that they're putting on, which they've done at Angelica and a couple others, where they're like, here's a thing that it's our event, but not at our location, which I don't like, because I like Alamo's environment.
What are you talking about?
Star Wars.
Okay.
The original trilogy.
Okay.
All 3 in a row marathon. It's at the Majestic. So you can get tickets to that. But it's an Alamo event that's not at an Alamo.
What? Why not?
I don't understand. Because Whitney saw this that said Alamo Draft House, Star Wars Marathon, and she was like, we need to see this. And I'm sitting there going, okay, is this the original uncut ones?
Yeah.
I mean, I'll still watch the special editions, but if they're going to put on like the Laserdisc version, as I say, my dad has the Laserdisc version and a Laserdisc player. If they don't, that's still probably the best version, other than fan stuff. But we couldn't find that aspect of it, but I looked to buy tickets and realized, oh, it's not at Alamo, oh, it's at the Majestic Theater. And I'm like, that's interesting. $70 a pop. I'm sorry. That's a lot. So for 2 people, it was $142. With like the processing, blah 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 blah. $72, and I don't have someone serving me food the entire time. Because that's one thing I love about Alamo Draft House. We're going to go see The Killing Joke at Alamo Draft House. Yeah. And I'm going to be in the theater, and I can get my drinks and my food, and I can continue to watch Mark Hamill and Kevin Conroy do the best. And
nachos are delicious, but they're really hard to eat in a dark place.
Yes, they are.
That's my go-to as far as like stadium food and what have you.
Yeah.
And for like a baseball game or something, that's perfect. You're sitting out in the sun and you're wishing that there was a roof and air conditioning
and you're eating hot cheese for some reason.
Yeah.
I'm not a big beer drinker. I know that probably helps the cool like aspect of
margaritas.
It, but margaritas work. That's a good idea. I would drink a margarita.
Okay, if you go to a Mavericks game anytime soon, get their big margarita. It's like probably that. It's seriously like that tall, and it's the little like the champagne glass, and then you get the giant straw, and it's. I felt like I was a clown.
Yeah, see, I would do that. I don't care. It's not a masculinity thing. Like, that's cool.
Oh yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah, apparently some people are like, oh, fruity drinks. And what?
Yeah, they're tasty.
They taste good. Sorry.
Yeah. So Kingsglaive.
Kingsglaive's coming out. So this will be in August 30th. If it's not near you, August 30th for Blu-ray.
Digital.
Sorry, October 4th for
Blu-ray is October.
So you people who wait for physical, October for you.
Which is stupid because that's after the game comes out, and after the game comes out, that's what my TV is for.
Yes,
is for playing the game. Don't give me a prequel that comes out after the. No,
so you don't because I delay it again.
I need that setup.
Yeah. I don't think they're going to delay this. Like some people were saying online, they're like, "Oh yeah, if it ever comes out, it's going to come out."
No, once you've waited, it's like believing that Last Guardian is going to get delayed again. They've delayed it as far as they were like, "Hey, 2000."
It's definitely coming out.
It'll come out then.
It's definitely coming out this century.
But by the time because it's been delayed so much. They know that if they put out a date, that's when it has to come out, and especially with all the hype that they've built around it, and they wanted the world to be watching when they said September 30th, it's coming.
Yes, I'm really excited about this game, and I know we've talked about this before, but I'm excited about it for people who haven't played the Final Fantasy games to jump into this game, and because the gameplay. In the action-oriented part of it, it's basically Kingdom Hearts with Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
To be able to bring people in, it's bringing Final Fantasy, in my opinion, into modern gaming.
Yeah. Because
there are people who didn't grow up with the timed RPGs, who don't like that, who specifically will go. No, I'm not playing.
I don't want to play that.
Now I know that they're traditionalists, like Owen and some other people who are like, no, it needs to be this. But I think that that there are a lot of those games, and there are some more that are coming out. But Final Fantasy is basically coming into the recent, the modern.
And World of Final Fantasy is for the purists like us.
Yeah.
So that's coming out.
You check that out, or you can always play Final Fantasy 6 like I'm playing on Twitch.
In case you were wondering, 68 days until Final Fantasy 15.
There you go.
Because I keep up with that.
Yeah. Because you have to count down.
Yes.
But
so we have two strange stories of the week. Continuing with the Square Enix train, they are making the first RPG specifically designed for Apple Watch.
Yep. That's
and
a thing.
There you go. If you wanted an RPG on your Apple Watch, you can have it, and it's Cosmos Rings.
So here's my biggest problem with this, and may or may not be what anybody else has a problem with, but I think you'll agree with me on this. If I want to play something like this, I've got a cell phone.
Yeah.
You have a Vita, but I already have my cell phone with me, and I can play RPGs. I can play Final Fantasy stuff.
Yeah.
On my cell phone. Playing this on my watch.
It's a novelty thing that I don't get most of the things that Square Enix decides to do, but this one seems particularly obtuse.
Yeah, my other problem. Now they just recently announced this, so we don't have like a lot of mechanic stuff. So if it did encourage you to walk more, that'd be cool, because the Apple Watch does have pedometer stuff and everything. So you do have that aspect of it.
But hey, the phone can do that too.
The phone can do that.
And that's the thing. I'm not interested. I have these little bony bits on my wrists. I can't wear watches.
Yeah.
Because my wrists are so thin, then it rubs the skin on this and it gets all chafed.
I was gonna say, I either it's too loose for me, or it's really too tight.
Yep.
Like that's my problem.
Dealt with that before.
So, in other weird news, we got some
Yes.
Kirby Cafe.
I want to go here. I want to eat those things. The willow, what is it? Whispery Willows or Willow Woods or whatever. Like, I want to eat that tree.
Yeah,
that tree looks delicious.
I want to eat the tree, and I do find it funny and I forgot the duck.
Oh, King Dedede.
King Dedede.
Yeah.
I don't know why I was spacing on his name. The fact that you have basically a duck, and I don't know if those are ribs on there. I think that's hilarious.
Yeah.
That's part of the menu. You're essentially, because some of them it's like, oh, it's in that shape, ha ha ha. But this is literally it's almost morbid, like
King
you killed
Dedede's
King
children,
Dedede, and now you're eating it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll do it. I mean.
Yeah, because like I played Kirby's Adventure all the way up until King Dedede, and it doesn't tell you how to beat him, and I never figured it out. And so that's one of those games that I got to the end of pre-internet.
Yeah. I need to see. Speaking of that,
I don't know how to, because like I could fly above him and I could not get hit.
Yeah.
But like he never threw anything. He never like I couldn't suck in his hammer.
Yeah. I didn't get that far. Well, I didn't get that far in that one. But speaking of that, I don't think I have Kirby's Epic Yarn. I need to get that. I have Woolly.
Kirby's Epic Yarn looks like
I have
fun.
Yoshi's Woolly World.
Okay. How's that?
I liked it.
Cool.
I liked what I played of it. I need to play more Star Fox. Both of those are on sale. Are they still on sale?
Right. This weekend at Best Buy. Yes.
Just this weekend. So if you're watching this right now on Sunday,
right now,
Star Fox and Yoshi's Woolly World are on sale for $30 a pop. So for Nintendo, that's a big deal, because usually Nintendo doesn't discount their games ever.
It was really funny because this was a conversation we were having online, and somebody's like, $30. This is a really great deal.
Yeah.
And I went and looked. PlayStation, despite my earlier warnings, has continued to put out ridiculous, crazy, awesome sales.
Yeah.
And you can get Injustice for $6. And I almost replied with that, but then I was like, wait a minute. Nintendo, yeah, that is a good sale. You should probably get that.
Nintendo doesn't do that. Splatoon is still $60.
God.
Like I've thought about getting Splatoon.
Yeah.
But it's still $60, and I mean it could be fun. I don't know, but that's a lot.
Okay, see, if you're gonna maintain the games at that price, you need to have demos.
Yeah.
Especially for something like Splatoon.
Yeah.
Because like if you have like one stage, one character that you can play online with other people, without the progression, or an assortment of weapons, maybe a little bit of progression, because they continue to release stages for that, like ad nauseum, until now there's like all these characters and all these stages and all these weapons and just all this different stuff that you can do with it. Give me a taste of that to let me know when you're doing weird stuff, because like I can look at the Disco Laser Defenders, and I'm like, $10. I think I'll probably like that.
For $10, you can justify it.
Yeah, and plus it's somebody supporting Vita, and I throw money at people who support Vita.
Yeah.
And there's actually a lot of us that do that, so.
And it should.
Yeah.
And it should. So we talked about the topic for the show was
how
long will Pokemon
Go last?
Actually last.
So let's make fools of ourselves in the future, because someday we'll look back at this and go, how naive we were back when we thought that.
9 months.
9 months?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
What's going to happen? My prediction will be that you're gonna have the Pokemon Go watch that's coming out.
The
Bluetooth
teardrop thing.
The teardrop thing you can have on your watch. You can have it wherever you do the thing. That's gonna come out. People are gonna buy that. That's cool.
Okay, if that counts steps, where I don't have to have the app open all the time, I will absolutely buy it. That is not confirmed yet.
Yep.
So if that is a thing, I will buy it. I don't really need it to catch Pokemon I already have.
Yeah. I halfway stealing this from Jim Sterling, but the app will not count your steps when you have it closed, but it will count down your incense. It will count down the lucky egg.
Yeah.
So
all of those are timers that start, and nothing you can do about it.
So if I really hope that is something that it kind of like syncs to the phone and kind of updates the phone record and saying, this is how far he's gone.
Yeah.
The only problem is that the way that they're tracking you is based on GPS, it's not a pedometer for Pokemon Go, and it's not tracking you the whole time. It's only tracking you every now and then. So if you go in a circle a few times, depending on when it tracked you, it's not getting that entire aspect of it.
Yeah.
So let's say you're at an ice rink. And you're going around, or we have a couple friends who are roller derby, who are in roller derby, and they were like, doesn't count a thing because you're going around that small circle so much. It's not counting every step that you take. It's not counting the distance you traveled. It's counting an average of, you were here, now 5 minutes later you're here. You've moved 10 feet.
Right.
So, but
I do think it's going to update like fair. I think it's going to ping fairly frequently, just based on the fact that it's gonna alert you for Pokestops.
Yes.
And active things near you.
Very happy about that.
I did see a video online last night of somebody who put their phone on an RC car and just and I was like, yeah.
Some people are putting on Roombas. It doesn't work as well, but some people are trying to hatch eggs that way. Just be a normal person and drive around a parking lot at 15 miles an hour. I mean, that's the mark, by the way, 15 miles an hour. No, I think it's gonna be 9 months because the watch is gonna come out. And it's not going to get people who aren't playing it to play it more.
Are there people who aren't playing it? Oh. I wasn't aware.
There are more active people on Pokemon Go than there are active people on Twitter. It's not more accounts, more active.
They beat Twitter, they beat Tinder. For one day.
Yeah.
They outdid Facebook.
Whoa! I didn't know about that. So it's going to have that. You're going to have continued play when Pokemon Sun Moon comes out later this year. You'll have continued of that. It's going to drain off a little bit around the same time as the NX comes out, and it's not going to die off completely. But 9 months from now, you will not go to a park and see it just completely booming like you do right now.
No, it won't be completely booming, but
so people will still play it, but it won't be as big of a thing.
Okay. However, if at 3 months they release Gen 2, and that's the thing.
So 3 months and that'd be October.
Plus, if they want me to walk outside in October, that's going to be a lot easier sell than right now.
Yes, it is.
Because I don't want to go outside right now.
It's hot. It is very hot in Texas. So I don't think they thought about Texas.
It is hot in Texas. In Arizona,
115.
Like I just kind of like okay. You know when you open an oven and you just feel the that's what it is when I open my door, because I will have it on I will have my AC on full blast from the time that it hits about 80. Because I know that this is going to be a buildup and it's slowly going to get hotter and hotter in there, and if I can have it as cold as possible, it's fighting harder.
Yeah, getting into my car after being at work all day. I got a new my visor, or the sun what is it called, sun visor, whatever, didn't fit my new car because it's tiny.
Right.
So I got a new one from Mazda, and it's still freaking hot. I mean, it helps a little bit, but it's still crazy hot.
Yeah.
So what do you think? I say 9 months.
Okay. I say that I say that a year from now, that there will still be people playing. You will still be able to actively, like, just go out. If you go to a park, you will be able to still notice a considerable number of people playing. I think that this game, because like there were, did you play Ingress at all?
I didn't.
Okay.
I know people who have, though.
Right. So because in a game like this that takes over the world, there are going to be the hardcore people that stay in it. Because you're starting off with such a huge demographic, the number of people who are going to still casually be into it and who will pop up for Gen 2 or whatever, that's going to be a thing. Karen in the chat said that considering we're still in beta, who knows?
Yeah.
And yes, there was technically an actual beta, but in a lot of ways, this app does still feel like it's in beta.
Yeah, it feels like it's in beta, even though it's not supposed to be.
Right, and as they roll it out to more countries, as it gets more stable, I think that, like, when you come back, when you get the resurgence of players in 3 months for Gen 2, they're going to come back to a game that works. That works all the time, and that you don't have to worry about, and that will increase your retention. And as you, I think that this game will still be being played 2 years from now. I think after. Yes.
But this is a huge game. So.
This is a huge game, and it's a game that has a lot of potential. Right now it is very bare bones, and it's still the most popular thing that has ever existed.
It doesn't have trading.
Yeah.
It doesn't have. I can't battle an individual.
Yeah. So as these things are implemented, because of the huge pool that they started with, people who had it on their phones will happily jump back into it. And that's the thing. And it's all linked to accounts. So if you switch, even if you switch phones, you can still just jump back in, and all you have to do is log in with your account that you will still maintain. Because I know very few people who actually use the Pokemon Trainer bit, and so the fact that the accounts are still going to be there
on your Google,
right. And I think that that's what's going to allow this game to go multiple years.
Yeah, could be. So what do you guys think?
2 years from now, tell me how right he was or how right I was, because we have very different predictions on this.
We do. Yeah, it's not going to completely die, but we do have different predictions. We'll see what happens, and we'll see if like you said, they launch Gen 2 towards the end of the year or something like that. That'd be really cool.
Yeah.
Anyways, see you guys later.
Thanks.